Hello, everyone. How are we doing on this Sunday evening? Can you guys give me a quick confirmation that you can hear me, you can see me? Awesome. Stan or Tan, I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong, just said it best. Chillin'. It's been a rough weekend, a lot of work, but it's some good work, some fun work. So, quite happy to be finally releasing. I don't know if you guys saw it, posted it on my Twitter. Finally releasing the economic news analysis. So I'm pretty excited that that's in the app now. And I've been grinding on that for the last 3 or 4 weeks. So it's a chill night. Definitely excited for price, honestly, because we've been consolidating for a while. Now, what are we doing? Well, same thing as we keep doing, right? We're taking away extremities and then returning. But I feel like after this move lower, we could finally start seeing some real price. So we're going to talk about what I anticipate, what I expect going into the next week, but definitely excited for price. Excited for some nice expansions. You seem to have a lot of echo. Anyone else can confirm that? Elian, it might be because you have the sound on my stream. Okay, so for those that you have that issue, you have two options. You either mute me or you mute the stream. Yep. Sorry, I was confirming. So can you guys tell me if after muting the stream, so mute the sound basically from my shared screen, if you still have some echo. All right. So yes, I do have to set that up. What I'm thinking is that I'm just gonna mute myself on Discord and have the sound running in the background. But I don't know if the quality is as good. I'll run some tests. Definitely hard to run some tests on a stage while hearing yourself, but I'm gonna get Emil in here to do some tests with me another day. But for this week specifically, right? I don't know if you guys saw the announcement, but we have some very nice news this week. Pretty excited for this. I'm gonna bring them on my chart here very quickly. We have high impact news every single day except Monday. The reason why I say this is because, well, first of all, G20 meetings are super important, but also new home sales were red news folder before, I think it was a month and a half ago, that Forex Factory decided to change all of those. So before then, we had it as a high impact news event. For me, based on data, it is still a high impact news. So I'm going to treat it as such, and I'm going to look for a trade on that specific day. For myself, Monday, I'm not going to be in the markets at all, but every other day, I'm just going to be trading, going to be waiting for slightly after the news. With these news in mind, it gives us the perfect framework for an open, high, and expand to a low. This is what I'm looking for. Now, we had a large range day on the previous trading day, so I'm going to anticipate that Monday will go and open and retrace into a specific level. Our most recent range is this one. If we use our premium and discount, we know that this is our first discount inefficiency. As I have explained here many times, this is the only inefficiency that I want to be, well, basically that I come to conclusions off of. I utilize different inefficiencies for trade entries, for trade opportunities, but in this case, in the higher time frame, this is the inefficiency that the disrespect of it. So for me, in order block, the disrespect would mean closing below the mean threshold. And if I can get my consequent encroachment here, mean threshold for an order block, the midpoint, if we want to use simple words, once we close below this, the order block is invalidated. And if this order block is invalidated, what does that tell me? Well, for me, that tells me that my objective is the extremity of that range. So my current target is going to be lower. Now, if we look at ES on the right, and let's just bring this crosshair, at ES on the right, all of these levels, they're all huge objectives. And then what do we have? Well, more low resistance to the bottom. I don't want to speak of are we going to expand or not at this point in time. As I said, this is really what I'm looking for here. But if we close below this, in the same way that due to the fact that we closed here, I thought we were going to continue going higher, this is how I'm going to interact. So if, for example, one of our days close here, past this level of sell side liquidity here, let's mark it out as such, then on the next day, I'm going to look for a retracement and then a continuation because we closed through it. So that's how I'm going to interact with these levels. But specifically, and pretty simple week as for an outlook, right, is I'm going to be looking to short in here. It isn't more complicated than this. And what if we never return here and on Monday we go down here? Okay, well, I'm going to use Monday's range. So for example, let's imagine that this is Monday's range as a consolidation range of I'm going to go take out one side to take out the other. So I'm going to treat it just as we did with this consolidation of taking out one side, let's go take out the other. Pretty much very straightforward concepts. Nothing complex about this. But whenever you see big spikes lower in NASDAQ, it usually leads to a continuation, right? You see a big spike lower here. Well, this one reversed, the only one I'm showing. Big spike, and then we continue. Big spike, we continue. Here, big spike, we retrace very aggressively. Another big spike lower. We've been having a hard time this past month. But definitely excited to see. We have to remember, though, that it is the last week of the month. And I never like to set expectations for that week. Especially now, I haven't had the easiest month of February. Why was I going to say September? I am tired, guys. I had a rough one. But I've had a rough month of February. I'm in the green right now. I want to stay in the green because I'm not very high in the green, to be honest with you guys. So I want to stay in the green. I want to close the month on a good note. So I have a max loss of 4R this week. So if I lose more than 4R, well, basically if I reach that max loss, I'm just going to stop trading. So if I have 4 losses in a row, pretty much, I'm going to stop trading. It shouldn't happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But this is just a rule I set to myself so that I make sure that I close the month on a good note. I've already made profits this month. And when I trade, I don't like to look at it week over week or even year over year. I like to look at it for every single month and then compare my data of previous month. This is what I've found was the most representative. So my goal is to have a good month. And if I have a bad month, then I need to review my things, right? My goal is to never be in the red for a month, but we'll see where that leads me after a few years of trading. Pretty straightforward outlook. I'm looking to short. I'm looking to continue off this move. And if we create SMT here, or we see, for example, Monday reach this low and then create SMT, or we reach the sell side early on in the week, am I going to consider trading longs? Yes. But up till where? Well, I'm going to use the premium and discount of the bigger ranges and find a premium in efficiency. And I'm also going to refer to my range. For example, if we sweep this is something I see a lot of questions on. But if we take out these levels, for example, let's make it clean. When do I consider trading reversals? Because I'm looking at a daily candle. Do I consider it on the same daily candle? Well, yeah, on the same daily candle, we can oftentimes see retracements. But as we saw last week, for example, here, we traded down into the fair value gap, had a huge move up, but the next day still went down very aggressively. So how do I decide this? Well, for me, it's all about candle closures. So if my candle closes past this level, then I'm going to look for continuations. But if we sweep this, I'm going to wait for a swing to form. For example, Monday sweeps it. I'm going to wait for Tuesday to do something like this, where it will form a breaker pattern, but which will form a swing point. So for example, if we use any other low, let's use this low. Let's imagine that Monday does this, takes out this liquidity. I'm going to wait for Tuesday to keep expanding lower. And then with Tuesday's closer, I can already start predicting a swing point and then trade long into the other days. This is how I'm going to interact with longs specifically this week. But main priority is shorting until here. Main idea, I guess I should say. Shorting until here. And then I'm looking for longs. And if you ask me right now, are those, if we have a move higher, is it going to be an expansion? So are we going to go to all-time high, or is it going to be a retracement to this and then continue going lower? I couldn't tell you. I've said it at the beginning of the year. I would like to see a bearish year for NASDAQ, but we have to get past all of that bullshit. Definitely. And could this high be the high of the year? Yes, 100%. With all this bullshit engineered liquidity, that would be textbook high of year. That would be awesome. Like if we look, for example, this was COVID times, after COVID times, I guess, but 2021 right here. See how we formed the high right there? So that's not the high of 2022, but we pretty much opened 2022 here. But look at all this liquidity. We formed a high and we traded to it for a while before starting a huge downtrend. And yes, the upside to this was extremely great, right? I don't know if you guys were trading during early 2023, but it was amazing. And see, I still have some drawings. Let's remove those. But it was really amazing trading there. But look at this high. This was previous all-time high that lasted for a while. What are we doing right now? A very similar pattern. And so this could hold. We could see some sort of downside movement. And if we go a little bit higher to something like a weekly chart, what range am I referring to? Well, I'm going to be referring to this. This is what we call an impulse price swing. When I say always focus on symmetry, we went up, we went down, we went up. This is one move right here. So this is the range I want to be utilizing. And us trading back down to this order block is a very straightforward move, right? 2,000 handles, 10%, that would be fine. You have alerted the AK. Well, I'm not looking at AKs on a weekly chart yet. No deviations for me. A lot of different things here. I just noticed I removed all my drawings. But the truth is probably for this whole year, I'm going to go about it week over week. Because there's no point in me trying to predict what's going to happen next, where even in conditions like this, I had some profitable frameworks. Like if you guys were there during the week, the price action reviews, right, which we do daily on the days with high impact news, we have profitable setups, but my win rate goes down when we are in ranging markets. So I'm just going to interact as if we are always in a ranging market. And as I said, I'm ready for every possible outcome. So if we continue, I know what trades I'm looking for. I know where I'm looking to trade them, and I know how I'm looking to trade them. As I explained, right? I'm going to long here. If Monday does this, Tuesday does this, I'm going to long after. Okay, well, if Monday does this instead, then Tuesday I'm going to look for continuation. Wednesday takes out these levels, when I'm going to look for the same thing I explained. Form a swing, trade some longs, retracement. So interacting, by knowing what you're looking for at specific levels, you can't make dumb trades. Because you had a plan and you're following a system. So that's never going to be a dumb trade. Even if you're trading the worst system possible, you can make money as long as you follow a clear system. That, of course, has an edge. But finding an edge in the market is the easy part. It's trading it successfully. That is hard. On that note, very quick on these weekly outlooks, right? I'm looking at this 13 minutes in, but there isn't much to say. It's super simple logic. But I like to go a little more in depth in my explanations, even though the logic is really just candle patterns at this point. And yes, I did say it because that's just what it is, right? If I'm looking for a swing to form, I'm looking for a candle pattern of we take previous candle high and then we close through it. A little sauce there. Do you guys have any questions about this plan? I know we tend to have a smaller audience in these weekly outlooks, but always fun to have some people in here. Most people find a plan boring because they don't want a plan. They want to gamble on the markets. That's not my job. My job is to make money. And you need a system for that. No questions. All right. Well, on that note, I wish you all the best. If you are trading tomorrow, good luck with your trading. If not, we'll see each other on Tuesday night for our first price action review of the week. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy your night.